And we welcome you to Game 4 of the 2019 World Series. This game is a big one.
Get up! It's out of here!
This game has played out exactly as A.J. Hinch would have scripted it.
Deep to left field. That is a grand slam! Alex Bregman!
Welcome in to Nationals Park, where a best of 7 has now become a best of 3 in the 2019 World Series. Game 5 coming up on BT Sport. No question, the biggest game of the Major League season to this point. Phil Murphy here alongside Mark Donaldson. And Mark, we are all square, 2 games apiece.
The issue now for the Nationals, they have said, Houston, we have a problem. They were 2-0 up. I know I've started that. I'm sorry. It's now 2-all. But yesterday, our storylines continued. Expect the unexpected.
We had 2 questions going into yesterday's game. How would Jose Urquidy fare in a start that was the biggest of his career by a mile? He had 45 total innings coming in. And when would Alex Bregman break out of this World Series slump? We got an emphatic answer to the latter right in Game 4. He entered just 1 for 13 in his first 3 World Series games. I didn't see this coming, but Carlos Correa did.
He's one of the best players in the game, one of the best hitters in the game, and aren't my words, tomorrow he's going to go off.
You know what was surprising for me? When this Grand Slam ended up in the seats, 2005 was the last time a Grand Slam in a World Series, and the stats quickly came to us after Bregman hit it. Fantastic, and indeed, high, far, and very handsome.
Very handsome, especially in Houston. Bregman on the day, 3 for 5. That Grand Slam, 5 RBI of Houston's 8, the MVP candidate, looking the part in the biggest game of their season to this point. And looking at this, most postseason home runs in franchise history. This franchise goes back to the early 60s, but for me, this underscores the recent success of this club.
Yeah, and that's what we said yesterday. We made a point about this isn't about 1 or 2 players stepping up to the plate, excuse the pun. It's about everybody getting involved. Now, Bregman had his turn.
There was a lot of noise around losing the first 2 games, and rightfully so, because the Nats had outplayed us, like I said, and I think we turned it around, and now we've outplayed them for a couple of games, and now we have a 3-game series.
I just told the boys, hey, we're in the World Series, all right? We're going to play Game 5, tied 2-2. Who would have thought that in the beginning? So here we are. So let's forget about it. Can't do nothing about the last 2 games. Let's look ahead and get ready to play tomorrow.
Just try to be better. So we'll see if we can turn it around.
Is there a way you can get those hits? Is there?
So we have these bats, and usually you try to square it up, and there's a baseball, and then you hit the outfield grass, and usually they're hits.
Oh, Anthony, if only it were that simple. I don't mean to harp on this stat, but it keeps coming up. Success with runners in scoring position, a direct correlation to who's winning. We talked about the Astros' struggles in games 1 and 2. The roles have flipped and been amplified in games 3 and 4. That's how Houston leveled the series.
Do you know what a pendulum does? It goes back and forward. Now, it's already gone back. Will it go forward again? 1 and 2, the pendulum went this way. 3 and 4, it went this way. If it stays here, the Astros win the World Series. If it goes back again, this pendulum with the runners in scoring positions, don't count the Nationals out, because everyone is now. Everyone's saying that's it. The Astros have come from 2-zip down, and they're going to win this one. The Nationals will have something to say. We saw what the Astros were like in Game 3. They were hurt. The Nationals will be hurt this evening.
Yeah, the Astros pitchers in Game 3, 13 strikeouts in total, 8 strikeouts in Game 4. That bullpen, the strength of this team, and this man we expected to come out of the bullpen, Jose Urquidy, he was masterful. 5 innings pitched, just 2 hits allowed, 4 strikeouts, and that catch to kill a rally in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
But you know what I thought was interesting? There was a lot of Astros fans on our Twitter and social media timelines were saying, why have they pulled him now? Because he was about to face 9-1 and 2 in the 5th inning. He'd already got through that, and then there was a bit of an issue with the guy who came in.
A.J. Hinch doesn't need to phone the bullpen. He needs to phone Astros UK. We're seeing something here we haven't seen very often. 116 years of World Series play. This is just the 5th time the road teams won the first 4 games. And look at, just 2 teams have won the first 5. One of those in 1906 when they never had to leave Chicago.
Maybe it's us. Maybe we're the buzzkill here. Things happened in London that never happened before until we got there.
How will the Nationals turn it around? Mark and I are now joined by a guest very special to my heart, near and dear, from my alma mater, Dr. Michael Nickens. more affectionately known as Doc Nix. He's the director of athletic bands, leader of what has been rated the best pep band in the nation. And Doc Nix, for those who aren't familiar with pep bands at a sporting event, what is your role here today at Game 5?
So today we are doing a pregame performance, get the fans all energized, doing some cheers, doing some, some of our signature performance songs, and just trying to get everybody in a great mood and put all of that momentum into the first pitch so that the energy explodes once the game gets going.
Now, I know this is your first time in public. You're a shy guy. You dress like that. And what is it like in front of such a crowd like this? You've performed in front of many an audience, but a World Series in your hometown?
It's very special that this is happening in Washington, D.C. I've spent my whole life here and wanted this band to really represent the area and to contribute to something that hopefully would happen like this. Once the crowd is all here, my goal is to make them actually part of the band. So we pick songs that hopefully they know, and if they don't know them, they can learn them quickly. And
Baby Shark.
You will be hearing Baby Shark today.
Yes. Now, Doc, Doc isn't just some fun nickname. You are a doc. You have your doctorate. You have degrees from Yale University, Michigan University. We know the humidity is going to affect the pitchers in this game. How will it affect the pep band today?
When there's a humidity in the air, it's always a lot of fun because the sound carries so much, so far, and very easily. So we'll get a little extra volume and extra distance because of the humidity.
Now, you were talking about the relationship you have with George Mason University. You went there, I believe.
That is my alma mater, and Doc Nix was one of my favorite parts of basketball games. I mean this. That basketball team, that Final Four run was my biggest point of pride. I would say 1A, showing people Doc Nix in the green machine.
If only, Doc, we had like a photo of something of maybe Phil back in the day when he was at. Oh, look what we've got.
Oh, there it is.
Hello. Phil has no idea that this is on the screen right now. And when we cut back to his little face here, you will see a similar look. Where's the tee? Oh, hello, baby.
Okay, that was free, George Mason.
Like glasses I would wear.
Look at those braces.
That was a little bit before George Mason University. Let's bring this back to the World Series, please.
No.
Doc, you're a DC guy. I know you're a big fan. You're a big fan of all the teams in the area. I'm trying to keep it together. What's the one thing from your mind the Nationals need to do to change their fortunes here at home today?
Remembering that they got everyone in DC behind them. They got probably half the country behind them. Remember that it's all about coming out and, you find your best stuff when you stop worrying about the result, stick to your process, and remember how much everyone loves you and let that just channel and flow right through you.
Doc Nix, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Please enjoy the game today. We're so excited to hear you all perform.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
The Nationals and Astros getting ready for Game 1.
And Yuli lines this one off the wall. 2-0 Astros.
That is long gone. Onto the train track. Soto ties it up.
A 2-run double for Soto. Nationals lead. Cole charged with 5 runs. The Washington Nationals take Game 1 of the World Series. Go up 1-0.
So we've seen this head-to-head pitching matchup we're about to watch in Game 5 before, just a few days ago. Max Scherzer against Garrett Cole in the biggest baseball game of this season, and to this point for both pitchers, the biggest games of their careers.
And we know how they handle the pressure, and Garrett Cole doesn't lose very often. He's not lost away for a few months away from home, and he had a 20-5 record this season. So he is a superstar, and he would have been hurt by losing at home, and he'll have some revenge on his mind. But don't forget who he's against as well in Max Scherzer. So two pitchers at the top of their game when they're both playing really well.
Cole, before this outing in which he gave up 5 earned runs in Game 1, his last 3 starts, just 1 earned run in 22 2/3 innings postseason. Cy Young favorite, he's going to finish 1 or 2. Max Scherzer is a guy, pitched a couple no-hitters. He wasn't exactly dazzling in Game 1, but he certainly was better than Cole, and it reflected in the win column.
Yeah, and the other thing as well that not many people are speaking about, of course, they're talking about 2 wonderful pitchers, but these guys have got to hit as well. And we watched Max Scherzer hitting or trying to hit, and it wasn't the best. Now, Garrett Cole's not the best either, but who knows? It's things like that that can come into this.
And how important is this Game 5 in a tied best-of-7 series? The winner wins more than 2/3 of the time they go to take home the series. 29-14 all time. The winner of Game 5 goes on to win the series.
said earlier about things that have happened when we've been doing Caps Off in our inaugural season. And the London games at 6-all after the first innings. Just weird things have happened. Would you be surprised if we ended up in the first ever World Series where the away team won every game? I would now, given how the Astros have come back, but nothing is impossible.
We have been the kiss of death for these home teams. It's been like a deflated balloon at the end of these games. But baseball's a game in which superstition runs rampant, and I know one of our friends in the UK has switched things up as well, like his beloved Astros, to try and swing Lady Luck to his side.
Sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. I just happened to be sitting on the floor at the start of Game 3, and we took a lead, so I thought, oh, let's stay in that position, see what happens. We won Game 3, so of course I had to stay in that position for Game 4. Sitting on the floor, we won Game 4, series tied at 2-2. Guess where I'm going to be sitting tonight? Let's go Astros, take it back.
So George changed his position. As you can tell, we have as well. There was rain in the forecast. Turns out to be a beautiful day, but maybe our change of position, actually, George, might work against you if we're really talking superstition. How do you think this one's going to play out?
The Nationals are going to win this one. I think the Astros will win it in 7 now, but I'm going to go for the Nationals to win it tonight. Does Doc agree? No, he doesn't. So he's obviously wanting to take it back as well. So where's your bobblehead?
I have a gnome. Actually, both of these are mine. Doc gave these to me. I think Garrett Cole gets the win today, and I think the Nationals get the best of Justin Verlander in Game 6. Astros in 7.
Where's the braces, by the way? You don't need them anymore. Look at those teeth.
All sorted.
Stunning.
Enjoy the game. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.